welcome back to my channel. So I am back with a foundation review. This foundation has been so highly requested on my channel. I am of course talking about the Nars Velvet Matte Skin Tint. I bought this during the Sephora VIB sale. So it's been about 2 or 3 weeks since I've had this. So I've had enough time to really play with it, work with it, and decide if I liked it or not. So if you want to see what I think about this foundation by Nars, then please just keep on watching. So I'm on the Sephora website, which is where I got my foundation, and there are 12 shades available on the Sephora website. This is a pricey foundation, but again, this is Nars that we're talking about. It is a high-end brand. This foundation retails for $44 and you are getting 1.7 ounces. That is 0.7 ounce more than your typical foundation product. Usually you get 1 fluid ounce. So what it is an oil-free skin tint to protect and perfect with medium and buildable coverage and a soft matte finish. The first layer is definitely light to medium, but once you build on top of it, it does become medium to full coverage, and it is definitely buildable. I am wearing 2 layers on my face right now, and it doesn't feel cakey or heavy, and it doesn't look cakey or heavy. And if you're someone like me who gets drier in the winter time and gets like drier patches around your face, upon application it doesn't cling to those dry patches, so it's not drying in any way. But again, I'm gonna touch more on that later at the end of my review. So it is a beautiful matte finish, and it is buildable. So you can get this foundation anywhere Nars is sold. That is all the information for this foundation. Let's jump into the demo. I'm going to show you how I like to apply it, what it looks like upon application, also what it looks like when I apply 2 layers of this foundation onto my skin, and then I'll see you guys again at the end for my final thoughts and review. So I don't have anything on my face right now besides my moisturizer. You guys know that when I do a foundation review, I don't like to use any kind of primers underneath the foundation, nor do I like to use any kind of powder to set the foundation. I want to see how long the foundation lasts throughout the day before my oils set in, and just how it performs on my skin on its own without any kind of barrier underneath it or on top of it. So we're just going to jump right in and apply the foundation. So of course the foundation that we're going to be testing out today is from Nars. This is their Velvet Matte Skin Tint with broad spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen, and I am in the color Alaska Light 2. So I've noticed that with this foundation, if I let it sit for too long on my vanity, it tends to separate and gets very watery. So I always like to give it a good shake before I apply it to my skin. That way it kind of mixes all the ingredients in together. So I'm just going to squeeze out a little bit for now. And it definitely has a thinner type of consistency. You can see it already running on my hand. So it is a bit thinner than most foundations that I'm used to. So I'm going to apply it to this half of my face first so we can compare it to the other side. And this side is just a hot mess right now. I've been breaking out like crazy. So with this foundation, I like to apply it with a damp beauty sponge. This is just the one from Mimi Box, I believe. The one from Real Techniques is like identical to it, and of course you can use your beauty blender. And it doesn't turn or oxidizes on your skin throughout the day. So this is 1 layer of the foundation on my face, and I would definitely say that this is light to medium coverage, more so on the light side. It's definitely a little bit fuller coverage than a tinted moisturizer, but a lot less than a full-on foundation. So on a day-to-day basis, I would just wear it with 1 layer, but since I'm filming this review and this little bugger right here refuses to disappear, I'm going to do 1 more light layer. So I'm just going to tap a couple more spots on my skin and blend it out with the sponge. And because it is such a thin consistency, it blends out so easily, and it just kind of glides and melts into your skin. So you don't really have to tug or pull at your skin to get this foundation on, which is really nice. So this is after 2 layers of the foundation on my skin, and I think that it still looks really beautiful and really natural looking. It's definitely a buildable type of foundation because it is so thin in consistency. So it still looks really natural and beautiful even with 2 layers on your skin. I really wouldn't go a 3rd layer. I would just kind of spot conceal with this foundation if you need extra coverage, but I definitely wouldn't do another layer of this. It would just feel a little bit too cakey and too heavy. But I really like the coverage with 1 layer, and even better with 2. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like there's anything on my skin actually. If you apply it with a damp sponge, it feels really light and airy on your skin. So I love the foundation for that. So I'm going to go ahead and cover up the other half of my face, and I'll be right back. So I've applied the foundation to both sides of my face and I absolutely love the finish and the look of this foundation. Velvet Matte Skin Tint is the perfect name for this foundation. There is definitely no glow or shimmer or shine or any kind of glowy dewiness to this foundation. It is definitely matte. You can still see a little bit of my acne scarring and a little bit of my freckles peeking through, but I think that's what makes skin looks more natural under foundation. I think the Velvet Matte finish looks so beautiful and it's so perfect for fall when you want your skin to look a little bit more matte and less dewy and glowy like you do in the summertime. So this is a perfect day-to-day fall foundation. But I'm going to finish up with the rest of my face makeup and I will be right back to finish up with this review. So I am back with the rest of my makeup on. So let's go over the claims of this foundation and whether I think it's worth it or not. So it claims to be an oil-free formula that wears comfortably throughout the day, which it definitely does. Even with 2 layers on my skin and the rest of my face makeup on right now, it feels really, really light and airy, which I really, really like because I don't like feeling foundation on my skin, especially if I'm going to be wearing it for a really long time throughout the day. It says that it works to control shine throughout the day. This, I think, is a bogus claim. I don't know if I just have extra oily skin this month or something, but I feel like with this foundation, my oils tends to break out a little bit quicker than my typical Nars foundation, which is the Nars Sheer Glow foundation. With that, I can go maybe 8 to 9 hours before I see any kind of shine. With this particular foundation from Nars, I definitely see the oil and the shine a little bit earlier on. Between the 4 and 5 hour mark, I can start to see shine, especially around my T-zone area, but it's definitely not a long wearing foundation. My oils do break through and the foundation does break up where I get oily, which just looks gross. So that is a downside to this foundation. It is not mattifying and it does not control your oil. Transparent blurring powders help to blur out imperfections, even the look of skin tone, and smooth the appearance of pores and fine lines. Okay, so how do I explain this without going on a rant about it? So upon application, this foundation looks beautiful on the skin. Right after you apply it, it looks beautiful and natural and just really, really smooth and flawless. If you have skin type like me, I'm kind of combo to oily in my T-zone area. If you have my skin type, you're gonna hate this foundation. My first time trying it out, I fell in love immediately with the finish, with the lightweightness of this foundation, and just how it looks and feels on my skin. But I wore this on a typical work day. When I looked at myself in the mirror after maybe 5 or 6 hours of wearing this foundation, I was horrified. I wanted to scrub it off my face. It accentuated every single fine line on my face. It settled into every little crevices around my eyes. I make a lot of facial expressions when I talk and I just laugh about everything. So I have like this line above my lip. I have lines on my forehead and laugh lines around my mouth. It literally settled into all those lines. As if that wasn't bad enough, where I get oily, which is typically around my nose area, a little bit in the middle of my forehead, and a little bit like the center of my chin, where I get oily, the oil broke up the foundation and it just started to get patchy and it looked like the foundation was sliding off in those areas. It just looked so gross and I wanted to leave work and go home and wash my face off and start all over. I know a lot of people love this foundation, so I hate to bash it so much. Maybe it just works better on drier skin types and not oily or combination skin. I said earlier that it didn't accentuate or cling onto my dry patches upon application. But again, at that 6 hour mark, I saw like patchy skin that I didn't even see at the beginning of the day when I was applying the foundation. So let's just move on from that and continue with the claims of this foundation. It says that the powder's unique spherical shape compresses like a cushion, delivering a velvety smooth, touchable feel and superior comfort on application. Completely agree with all of those claims. It is a velvety, soft texture on my skin. Vitamin C, E, and broad spectrum SPF 30 protect against free radical damage caused by environmental stress. Simply touch and go for effortlessly perfected look. So it's really great that it has the vitamin C and E for your skin. It's a nice treatment as you're wearing this throughout the day. and the SPF is definitely a bonus. And what's lovely about this foundation is that it doesn't cause a white cast when you take flash photography. So let's move on to my review and whether I think this is worth the money or not. Again, this is an expensive foundation, so I really want to give you guys my full honest thoughts and opinion. This is a really great on-the-go foundation if you are running out of the house really quickly and you just want a little bit of coverage on your skin without looking overly made up or done up. This is the perfect makeup product for you. It has really nice light to medium coverage, it's buildable, it looks really beautiful and natural on the skin, and it feels so comfortable and lightweight, so it doesn't feel like you're putting on a lot of makeup if you just want to throw something on really quick and run out the door. This foundation would be perfect if you have really dry skin or don't get oily throughout the day. If you are a teenager looking for just a nice lightweight, light coverage makeup product that looks really natural on your skin but you just want to even out your skin, you would love this. But please just keep in mind, if you are oily in any type, if you have a lot of fine lines like I do, if you have more mature skin, stay away from this foundation. I hate to bash a Nars product because I honestly love most of the Nars products that I've tried out. You guys know that my holy grail foundation is Nars Sheer Glow foundation. So it's not a horrible product, it's just a product that doesn't work well for me, and I feel like wouldn't work well for most people because most people have combo skin. They have dry patches around their face and then they have an oily T-zone. But I really don't want to discourage you from trying out this foundation. Maybe it works for you, maybe I'm just not finding the products that work well with this foundation, like a good setting powder or primer. But honestly, I've had 2 weeks to play with this and I've tried it with every primer that I've owned, every setting powder that I've owned. I've tried to use different techniques in setting my foundation, in priming my skin, just using primer in the oily T-zone and not my entire face. Honestly guys, I've given this foundation a lot of chances and I'm just so bummed that I don't like it because it just looks so beautiful on the skin at the beginning of the day. It just does not work out at the end of the day for me, so I'm gonna have to give this one a thumbs down. But that is it for this foundation review, guys. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm really sorry if I offended anybody with my rant on this. If you love it, again, let me know down in the comment section below. I do not mean to offend anybody who loves this product. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it helpful. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.